Hello, everybody. My name is Tony, and I am an athletic trainer here at Campus Recreation and Wellness. And today I will be giving you all a presentation on the effectiveness of various face coverings. So first off, we're going to start by talking about face mask. And the primary function of a face mask is to reduce the transmission of particles or droplets. So this means preventing you from getting transmitted with someone else's droplets or particles, and it prevents someone else from getting transmitted from droplets or particles that come from you. And face masks are common in modern medicine. They were originally introduced to protect patients with open wounds against infectious agents. So an example from back in the day would be protecting a patient from tuberculosis. But in today's society, they are to protect you from and help reduce the spread of COVID-19. So these are some common public concerns during the COVID-19 era, and that is there is a shortage of N95 and surgical masks. So people are like, oh, all the recommended masks are being sold out, or they cost a fortune to get one nowadays. And then there are also concerns about the side effects of prolonged use a face mask and the discomfort that comes with wearing them for so long. So these are the, people, you hear people being concerned about not being able to breathe in a face mask, or they're concerned that it's going to reduce the amount of oxygen in their blood. And, both of these have led to many restrictive solutions. A lot of them are like homemade solutions, working with what you got or working with what they have. But a study conducted at Duke University tested the effectiveness of several face coverings, and that's mainly what I'm going to be discussing with you all today. So here you have a picture of all the face coverings tested by the researchers on the left, and on the right is a description of each face mask, a name and description of each face covering that was tested. So you go ahead and look through them if you want. I'm just gonna kind of point out a main that I think would be interested, or I think are interesting to remember for when we get to the results. So first is the surgical mask, which is your basic healthcare surgical face mask that you see in today's modern medicine. They are disposable, and these are some of the ones that were selling out and people couldn't get a hold of them. Second is your valved N95 mask, which is a N95 mask with the exhalation valve. So this allows, your breath to, or the air inside the face mask to leave, and it helps reduce all the humidity. People say it makes it easier to breathe in. And then number 11 is a fleece mask, which is commonly known as like a neck gaiter. And these are some of the ones you see a lot of people walking around with in the store. People say they're easier to breathe in and the lightweight. And then the last one I want to point out is a fitted N95 mask, number 14. So this is a N95 mask without an exhalation valve, and it has a piece of metal on the nose bridge so that it fits to the wearer's face. And this is also one of the ones that was selling out, and people were freaking out because they couldn't get one of the highly recommended face masks to wear during these COVID times. So now we'll move on to how they were tested. So they tested these face masks or face coverings by having an operator wear the face mask in a dark enclosure. And he or she would say, "Stay healthy, people," 5 times in the direction of the laser beam. Then they had a camera record the droplets that passed through the face mask, and the operator or each face mask was tested 10 times. And then they used a computer algorithm to count the amount of droplets that they saw in the video. And this experiment was very cost effective because they just use the iPhone camera to record the droplets. So this is the testing device they used. And as you can see, here is the laser that they shot across the dark enclosure. So this box is the dark enclosure. The laser they shot through it. The operator would put his face here and say, "Stay healthy, people," 5 times into this laser. And here is where the camera would record the amount of droplets that pass through. And you can see from this picture what it looked like in real life with the laser and then the droplets that would pass through. So the results from the study. The results showed that the fitted N95 mask right here was the most effective in restricting the transmission of droplets. You know, virtually 0 droplets got through the N95 mask. Second was the surgical mask, and that was shown to be the second most effective in restricting the transmission of droplets. So if you look at this line right here, it showed about like 0.05 to 0.1 of relative droplet count. So that's about 90 to 95% effective. And then all your other cloth coverings range from being about, 80% effective to 60% effective in restricting the transmission of droplets. And what was most surprising was that the fleece or the neck gaiters were shown to be just as effective as not even wearing a face covering when they did this experiment. So as you can see here, this is the relative droplet count when the researchers didn't wear a face mask covering. And here, right beside it, is the results they got when they did wear a fleece covering. So the fleece covering showed that it allowed about 95% of droplets to transmit through the gaiter or face covering during the experiment. So, here is the works cited page to the research study. If you're interested and want to read it yourself, go ahead. I highly recommend it. It was very interesting. And now that you all know which masks are most effective and which ones are least effective, you can educate your friends, your peers, your family members on, on different effectiveness of each mask so that we can all do our part and help prevent the spread of COVID-19. So, that's all, folks. If you had any questions about anything I said in the presentation or any comments or concerns, feel free to reach out to us at crwathletictraining@ecu.edu, and I'll be more than happy to reply. So, bye.